What up, Fin fans? Welcome to another episode of the Fin Posse Podcast. I am your host, Big C, and this is brought to you by Game Changers Media. How is everyone doing this morning? Good morning. I changed the settings on this damn focus right box I got for my microphone and thought I got rid of all the I don't get it. I do not get it. I don't understand why it's so difficult for me. But I am not a computer. I'm not a computer person, to be honest. Not a computer person. Let's say hello. Good morning. Sorry about yesterday. I went to the chiropractor because my back has been jacked up. I had an 8 o'clock appointment. I ended up being there till 10:30. I have some crushed vertebrae in my back. My tailbone's kicked in, they said. So I had to leave there, barely being able to move. I don't know how I drove. Had to go to the emergency room, try to get set up with some appointments. Hopefully I don't need back surgery, but I can't deal with this back pain no more. But yeah, I apologize about yesterday. Michael, good morning. Michael K, good morning. Edward, good morning. Costa Nostra, good morning. Bonnie, good morning. Sean, good morning. Yeah, Sean, I was gone all day yesterday. I haven't even talked to Miss Finn, so I apologize about the DMZ show. Like I said, I was dealing with some major issues with my back. But I do apologize. But we're here. We're here today. The Miami Dolphins joint practices with the Detroit Lions coming up. I want to touch back on this Chicago Bears Miami Dolphins thing though. The game ended in a tie. Is that the way you want to see a game end? No, absolutely not. There was some positives in that game. But still, that game was very concerning for me in a bunch of ways. It still showed the Miami Dolphins are going to struggle to get those short yards. Now, Ollie Gordon looked good in the later part of the game, and maybe he's a real possibility. But you got Madison, who is now out for the year, possibly a career-ending injury for Alexander Madison, which is a sad thing to see. It's a sad thing to see, but the fact that we come punch it in from the 1 yard line, that's the same old Dolphins to me. That's the same old Dolphins, and hopefully we can improve on that. Find someone that can. We got to make them short yardage situations count. You got certain teams in this league that are so good at it. The Philadelphia Eagles, that a 3rd and 1, a 4th and 1 is automatic first down for them, and that's such a huge advantage. But I do think the Dolphins answered back. The Chicago Bears took advantage of us in the joint practices. They took advantage. They agreed upon not tackling, not being overly physical, and they violated that. And now we got Detroit Lion players saying the Dolphins aren't ready for our level of physicality. They're not ready to come in and play football against us. And I think the Miami Dolphins really need to show up and put out. The Miami Dolphins need to play bully ball. This isn't the same old Dolphins. We have a lot of new guys here. We got a lot of new guys here. They don't got to go by the narrative of the Jerome Bakers and the Javon Howlands and the players that were here before. We don't have to be known as a soft team. Now, on the offensive side of the ball, obviously, we have undersized players at damn near every position. So it's going to be hard for you to be extra physical on the offensive side of the ball. We got smaller guys all over the offense. Actually, he did. Bad Jensen absolutely did say that. There is a quote of him saying that. He said that if there was tackling going on, people would get pissed. So Ben Johnson absolutely did say that, Michael K. You're absolutely wrong about that. Michael K is absolutely wrong on the fact that Mike McDaniel and Ben Johnson they agreed on it's somewhere. I'll find it for you. I'll find it for you. No, the Lions aren't complaining. They're saying that the Miami Dolphins aren't ready for their level of physicality. Pretty much that they're going to be able to bully us around. That they plan on coming in and punking us. I wish you would hold your breath, Michael K. You go suck a fart out of Josh Allen's ass. Finspin, what's up? What's up? This isn't the same Miami Dolphins team, though. Jordan Brooks he's not a soft player. Minka's not a soft player. There's players on this team that need to set an example. They need to set an example. They need to go out there and play with just as much intensity as the other team, if not more. Now, to be fair, the defense didn't know that the Chicago Bears offense, our defense was doing this to the Miami Dolphins offense. They didn't know. They're playing on two different fields. So it's not like, oh, well, they're going to play physical defense. Let us play physical defense. They're not on the same field. They had no idea this was going on. But I think Mike McDaniel has to let people know, like, hey, listen, if you got to hit on someone, don't try to hurt someone, but it's all right to lay the wood a little bit. Well, Costa Nostra, our weakness is the size of our offense, right? Our offensive line is an undersized offensive line. These guys, I mean, Patrick Paul's a beast of a guy, beast of a human, but Patrick Paul's a huge guy. But our offensive line is more, it's less about the power of the player, the size of the player, as it is about their agility. We got small receivers. We got a small quarterback. We got a small running back. So, yeah, coming up and bumping us, getting hands on us, that throws off our timing. That throws off our routes. And that's something that we got to deal with. That's something we got to figure out. Again, if we're able to run the football, though, teams can still try to jam us at the line. They can try to jam us at the line, but if we're able to run the football, the big difference is there's no protection for these corners if they try to jam us. Costa Nostra, we have gotten bigger on the offensive line and the defensive line. We have, but we haven't played any games yet. You know what I mean? We haven't played any real games yet. So teams are looking at us like the old Dolphins. I don't think this is the old Dolphins at all, but we got to prove it. We got to prove it. And those guys are young guys. Yeah, our offensive line has definitely gained size. They definitely have. But they haven't played games together yet. Absolutely, Costa Nostra. Absolutely. The Chicago Bears came in and tried to manhandle our offense. They're tackling Devon Achane to the ground. Jalen Waddle didn't play in that game because he got hurt at practice because they tackled him. Our quarterback got hit in his throwing arm multiple times. And that's unacceptable. You know what I mean? And now we got a team that is just as physical, if not more physical than the Chicago Bears and Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions, I'm pretty sure they were 7th in total defense last year. Let me see. We got the Detroit Lions, and this is going to be a huge test for this football team. Because this right here, this preseason game against the Detroit Lions, this is where you see Tua play the most. This is where you see our starters play the most. Typically, the last preseason game is meant for guys trying to fight for roster spots. So this is the game before the regular season. And we got a tough matchup. Detroit is a tough matchup. And it's going to say a lot about our football team. Detroit last year finished season 15-2. 564 points a game they scored last year. That's number 1 offense in the league. They had the 7th best defense in the league. I think this is going to be a hell of a test for our defense for sure. Can we and our defense got the better of the Chicago Bears in the preseason game for sure. But we're going to go up against I want to see how our starting defense goes against their starting offense. Detroit's got a lot of weapons. The number 1 offense in football last year. Is our defense going to be able to stand up to these guys? Or are our cornerbacks going to be able to stand up? Glenn said, did you hear what Grant Stewart said? No, what do you say, Glenn? I don't even know who Grant Stewart is. Yeah, we gotta remain as healthy as possible. But this is a tough matchup. It's an exciting matchup, and I'm eager to see what this defense looks like against the Detroit Lions offense. Is this their 3rd preseason game, Bonnie? Oh yeah, they had the. Well, that'll be shitty if they don't play. I thought, from everything I heard, Detroit starters were playing. He plays for Detroit and said that Miami is not prepared for the physicality that Detroit was bringing. Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about, Glenn. And Dan Campbell is an intense type of guy. You know what I mean? And Mike McDaniel, he's never going to be able to match Dan Campbell's intensity. You know what I mean? But he definitely, we got to come to play. We got to punch people in the mouth. We got to show that we're not the same Miami Dolphins. And that's got to be the message. Weaver's got to express that message. Offensively, there's not much you can do offensively. We're a finesse offense. We're a speed offense. So you're not going to be able to go out there and bully. You know what I mean? Maybe this offensive line eventually can bully people up front, but it's going to take time for them to gel. It's going to take a little bit of time for them to gel. Austin Jackson's going to have to get back healthy. And still, I'm super worried about the depth of this offensive line. Super worried about the offensive line depth. There's not much we can do as far as, if corners come up to jam us, we got to do our best to make them miss. And then, like I said, if we got a running game, if we got a potent running game, teams aren't going to be able to play too high safeties. Teams aren't going to be able to drop a bunch of guys in coverage, and these guys will be left out on an island. So if they go up to try to press Tyreek Hill and they miss, that's a touchdown. So teams are going to have to limit how aggressive they can be against us if we're able to run the football. What up, Joe? I'm going to drop the link if anybody got anything they want to come on and say. How they feel about the first preseason game, how they feel about where we stand from a physicality point. If you feel like this is the same old Miami Dolphins and we're no different, I don't believe that. I don't believe that defensively. I think this is a whole new defense. I don't think Zach Sealer's soft. I don't think Kenneth Grant's going to be soft. I know Jordan Brooks ain't soft. I don't think Minkah Fitzpatrick is soft. Glenn says, I'm more worried about when Andrew and Liam come back. I'm more worried about when Andrew and Liam come back. That will give us 7, and we only keeping 2 more linemen. We need I would bring in Isaiah Wynn, and who's the guy that played with the Browns? The tackle. I think he's still available. Still young, still has potential. I think if you have, no, it's not a Fide. He just came out a couple years ago. What up, JD? Available offensive lineman in free agency. Yeah, Willis, K-Salt. I'd bring Isaiah Wynn and Willis in. Willis still has potential. He's still young. He's still pretty young. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share, turn on your notifications. Again, I just dropped the link if anyone's got anything to say. The season's rapidly approaching. The Miami Dolphins trying to change the narrative. Other news like I said, Alexander Madison, terrible injury. It sucks for us because I think he could have been our power back. I think he could have been the guy to go out and get us that 1 yard. I think he could have been that for us. You're looking at Ollie Gordon now. Ollie Gordon's a rookie. He had a decent preseason game, but again, he was going against 2s and 3s. So it's hard to know where he really is at. Darren Waller sure has been a disappointment so far. Well, hopefully he's going to start practicing. Darren Waller could be he's the ultimate boomer bust, right? Darren Waller could be a phenomenal weapon for us if he can get back to that player he was 3-4 years ago. Or he can just be nothing. But this offense has shown that it can produce without a great tight end. Don't you think Ali will be hungrier than Madison? You would hope so. You would hope. Joe, I don't think Waller's gotten on the field yet. They said soon. They said super soon. So they said the guy's in fantastic shape. So I don't know what the holdup is. I do not know what the holdup is. But if Darren Waller can come in hungry, and again, we only got, what are we keeping, 5-6 receivers? And how many of them are under 6 foot? How many of them are, I think the only receiver we have with size is Nick Westbrook-Akine. Yeah, that kills me. They had Jamal Williams in for a visit, and Jamal Williams the last 2 years with the Saints hasn't done much. But the year before that, in short yardage situations, Jamal Williams was a beast. He had 17 touchdowns for the Detroit Lions. I would have definitely brought Williams in instead of Boone and whoever else they brought in. Who, you're absolutely right, Michael Lombardo, will probably not make this football team regardless. Joe says, hopefully this week. If not, we will see a very slow introduction in regular season. Yeah, I mean, he needs to get on the field. He needs to get on the field. The fact that we went and traded a Pro Bowl tight end away, he needs to get on the field. Don't play him until week 3. We can get by Indy and New England without him. Pull him off pup after New England and make Buffalo have to pour over old Waller film in a short week. Yeah. I didn't check on Mike Boone's stats for Carolina last year. He was with Minnesota before that, right? Glenn, I don't think anybody in free agency right now is asking for, these guys are only getting pennies on the dollar at this point. You're not going to see guys signed for over $3 million, I don't think. And again, if he can solve our short yardage problems, is it not worth it? You can't bargain bin everybody. Like, that's a major concern for this football team. What's that extension for James Cook look like? Because I think that was a mistake by Buffalo caving into him. Waller learning the playbook, needs to eat to get into B shape, not a wide receiver shape. Shoot, we need him at wide receiver too. We need his size. $12 million a year, anything over 10 is caving. He wasn't going to get 20. He wasn't going to get Saquon money for Jesus. You know what I mean? He wasn't getting Saquon money. If you don't think $12 million a year is an overpay for Cook, you're dribbling. He's not your best running back. Your quarterback is. Well, because the same money for Kerryon Williams? No, the Rams don't have a running game besides Kerryon Williams. Buffalo's running game is Josh Allen. You can keep saying the casual shit all you want, trying to take shots. But you're the casual one. You would have said that was a horrible deal for the Dolphins. You would have said the Dolphins overpaid Cook by $1 million. He's no good. You're the biggest homer I've ever met. You can't say nothing positive about anybody else's team, which is an absolute joke. you paid your second string running back $12 million a year because Josh Allen is your starting running back. And it doesn't matter because if Josh Allen goes down, your team is a wrap anyway. James Cook ain't saving you. Okay, did anybody on the Buffalo Bills have someone that scored 20 touchdowns the year before that? Buffalo Bills fans drive me crazy. Like, you've won nothing in your whole history. You're so happy about some of the division titles. Division titles. That's what we're talking about, folks. That's what Michael K holds his hat on, is division titles. The Buffalo Bills and their division titles. You can't win nothing. Nothing. And you're still not going to win nothing. You're wasting Josh Allen's career. You're going to be so sad because you're favored in every game this year. You're going to be so sad that it's going to be same old story. This might be the same old Dolphins. It might be. But we'll find our quarterback someday. You guys got your best quarterback in franchise history, and you're just wasting him. You're wasting him. Miss Phins, Josh Allen lied. The Buffalo Bills are not winning nothing. They ain't beating Pat, and they're not beating Lamar. Not this year. You better do a reset. I think y'all are going to get your feelings hurt that first week of the season. Facts. I think Baltimore puts it on you. And Josh Allen going to try to play Captain Savo, and he might go and get himself hurt. But Baltimore got that bad taste in their mouth from last year. They're about to come in and put it on you guys. I'm just saying, be a little more, you know what I mean? Why your head so up in the clouds? Why your head so much in the clouds? Be a little, you know what I mean? I understand that your team's a good football team and you've won a lot of games in Josh Allen's career. You've won a lot of games. You made the playoffs. You won division titles. But damn. You guys ain't Super Bowl champs. You guys haven't won the big one. You haven't even made it to the big one. But it's all right. All right. She moves in mysterious ways. So from what the media is really down on the Miami Dolphins this year, and I mean, I don't see it. I don't see how we're so much worse than what we were last year. I see 6 wins. I see teams are monitoring the Tyreek Hill situation, that it's inevitable that we're going to have to trade them because we're just going to be so bad by a trade deadline. I don't see it, folks. So if any one of you guys can explain it to me, if anyone that feels like we are really a 6 and 11 team, please join the show right now and explain it to me why we are a 6-11 team. The link is in the comments. Miss Phins, I was in the ER. I went to the chiropractor yesterday at 7:45 a.m. I was there till 10:30. Then I had to go to the emergency room. I was all jacked up. They gave me some shots, and I was zonked last night. I apologize. Please, the link is in the comments. If you believe that this team is 6-11, that's the final record would be, right? 6-11. 6-11 or worse. Please explain it to me because I do not see it. I do not see it. Now, if Tua misses 15 games, yeah, sure. Yep, sure. Oh, I'm trying, Miss Phins. My back is jacked. Like, it is killing me to sit here right now. I got that pinched nerve sciatic. I had a couple crunch discs in my back. They said my tailbones like kicked in. I just don't see it, Miss Phins. Tell me how if this team can besides injuries, besides us getting depleted by injuries, how is this a 6-11 team? That's the only way I see us going 6-11 is if we're just destroyed by injuries. Talent wise, I do not see it. I just don't see it, Miss Phins. I don't see it. Now I can see us winning 8 games. I can see that. I could see things not going the right way winning 8 games, not 6. Not 6. And I struggle to see only 8 wins. Again, if we're fairly healthy, and that's the assumption I got to make, is that we're going to be healthy. I don't see it. We have a lot of talent on this football team. We do. We have some holes. But when healthy, this team can win football games. Now, am I going to say that we can beat the elite teams? No, I don't. I don't know that. I don't know that. That's the real question. I feel I'm not one to sit out on a limb and say that this team is definitely going to win a playoff game this year. But I don't think this team is any worse than a 9-10 win team. Blake, what's more? What's good? What's good? Man, back still messed up. It's killing me sitting here right now. I was ejected from a car like 20 years ago, and I landed 90 feet from the car. We was out drinking and driving. I was in the back seat of a convertible. It was raining a little bit. The road was a little moist. We took a turn. The back wheels hit gravel. They spun. We hit a telephone pole right on the side of the car where I was sitting, and I flew out the car and I landed in the middle of the road. And ever since, I've had a bad jacked up back. 90 feet. I landed 90 feet from the car in the middle of the road. I mean, I bounced a bunch of times. I had half a beer bottle stuck in my leg. Half a beer bottle. I had a 12-pack sitting between my leg and the car. And I had a half beer bottle stuck in my leg. I appreciate it. That's why I said week 3 in Buffalo is such a crucial game for us because it lets us know something. It lets us know something. If we can't go up there and beat the Buffalo Bills prime time against the division rival on a short week, the big bad Buffalo Bills, then all hopes are out the window for being any more than a wild card team losing week 1 of the playoffs. But if we can go out there and beat the Buffalo Bills week 3, I think this team has a legitimate shot of winning the division and getting a home playoff game. And then you never know what happens. I think the Baltimore Ravens are the scariest team for the Miami Dolphins. Yeah, we beat Baltimore that game where Tua threw them long touchdowns to Tyreek. But Baltimore has blown us out a couple times. Baltimore's the one team that if Miami gets squared up against in the playoffs, I don't know if we can win that game. But I think we can beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I do. I think if everything goes right, I think there's a chance that if we got matched up versus Kansas City in the second round of the playoffs, I think we could win that game. Now, do I think that we'd be the favorites? No. But I give us a chance. I would say we have a chance. So anything could happen. Someone could knock off the Baltimore Ravens. I think the Ravens are the toughest team for us to face this year. And if we get matched up with them in the playoffs, it'd be real rough. Miss Phins, the Dolphins are going to have to beat the teams that they're supposed to beat, right? They're going to have to. Jets splits, Pats split. Why do you think we're going to split with the Jets? Why are we going to split with the Pats? Tua is notorious for beating both those teams. Joe, you think 7 wins max? Why? I don't see why they couldn't beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. That's the bare minimum if all goes wrong. Okay, Miss Phins, I can see that. I can see it. That's worst case scenario. Yeah, worst case scenario, we win 6-7 games. That's not what I'm expecting though. But yeah, worst case scenario, if that's the case, the Miami Dolphins need to move on of everything. They need to trade away all things of value. If the worst of the worst happens to the Miami Dolphins before the trade deadline, we need to find a trade partner for Tyreek Hill. We need to trade Bradley Chubb. We need to see if we can trade Jalen Phillips. Shoot, I'd see if we could, hopefully Mika has a great first 6 weeks of the season. Trade him. I would trade. The only untouchables on this team would be Patrick Paul if he continues to look the way he is. Jonah, Kenneth Grant. Those are probably my only untouchables. Those 3 guys are my probably only untouchables. Frozen says I see 8 wins floor, 11 max. I agree. Joe says if we stay healthy and McDaniel has some new stuff, we can exceed it. You packed all your bags and jumped on the Ollie Gordon train. Hopefully, he runs a little too high for me. He needs to get lower. He needs to be able to lower his shoulder better. But if the season doesn't play out the way that I feel like it should or it could, we absolutely need to do everything we can do to put us in the best possible position to go out and get us a franchise quarterback in next year's draft. And I'm a Tua fan, don't get me wrong. But if we're breaking it down, tearing it down, and hopefully Chris Greer will be gone if we win 6 games, we need to absolutely do everything we can to move up the food chain to get whatever quarterback we want. Not a quarterback that we have to settle for. Whatever quarterback we want. We want to have our pick of quarterbacks. If Josh Allen misses time for the Bills are cooked. The Bills aren't winning the division. The Bills team is not overly talented without Josh Allen. We shall see, Joe. I mean, he was one of the best. He was the best running back in college football 2 years ago. He was the best running back in college football. So he's got great potential. But again, there's only a couple people on this team that I'm not going to trade away. I wouldn't trade Jonah. I wouldn't trade Patrick Paul if Patrick Paul is looking the way he's been looking. Chop Robinson, I wouldn't trade Chop neither. Chop would be off limits. I'm not pinning my hopes on injuries. I think I know Miami can beat Buffalo with Josh Allen at quarterback. I know we can. We lose to Buffalo, LA, Baltimore, Washington, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati. Maybe one more somewhere, 10-7, book it. And Elwood, hopefully we can pull off one of those victories. You know what I mean? I think that Pittsburgh game is questionable. Yeah, they look like they got a stocked team right now, a stacked team. They look like they got a stacked team, but they got a bunch of aging veterans on that team that, things might not go right. Cincinnati, Joe Burrow is an injury-prone quarterback as well. And again, I'm not hoping for injuries to anybody, but them later games in the season, you never know where a team's at. Derrick Henry runs. Derrick Henry's a different type of back, though, brother. Derrick Henry is the size of a defensive end. And he runs 20, 21, 22 miles an hour. It's all right. Buffalo got lucky. Michael K. Buffalo got lucky. I mean, just like you think you can beat the Chiefs in the playoffs. How'd that work out for you? Oh, we did get lucky. Patrick Paul has turned into, he's a hard worker, though. He's a hard worker. He stays after practice. He was picking Teron's head constantly. He wanted to be better. Wait till Grant and Phillips get a hold of J.A. No groping genital this time. Just Hulk smash Allen. That'd be a beautiful thing. Oh, yeah, Joe. We would have been – this offensive line would have been hurt. I think this offensive line can be really good if Austin Jackson come back healthy and play good. I think it's just going to take some time for them to get some continuity. But once they hit their groove, I think this offensive line will be really, really, really good. And again, Devon doesn't need a bunch of room. He doesn't need gaping holes. You give him a little crease, and Achane can be gone. Bonnie says, I was impressed with Jordan Phillips. Jordan Phillips has got great potential. He's definitely going to be a starter here in the future. Glenn says this defense will be top 10. I don't know if they'll be top 10 against the pass. I see the Dolphins giving up a lot of completions this year. They got to be a bend, don't break defense, right? Teams are going to be able to move the ball down the field against the Miami Dolphins. That is what it is. It just comes up to when we get down to the red zone, we gotta stop them from putting touchdowns on the board. We got to have one of the best red zone defenses in football. Because teams are going to be able to move the ball down the field on us. Bottom line. There's going to be open guys on every play. They're going to be able to complete passes down the field. What's going to be crucial for the Miami Dolphins is our red zone defense. We got to limit teams to field goals. Limit teams to field goals. Shout out to Larry Borum. During the Bears game, he played a ton and had only one play where he shit the bed and 2 subpar plays that he did really good. It was encouraging. Well, again, he was going against 2s and 3s, though. If he's got to go in there against 1s, you know what I mean? If he's got to go against 1s, it might be a different story. But hopefully these guys can improve. I just don't like it. I think we need to add guys. Hopefully someone gets released or something. Don't discount Minka prowling the middle and back. That's going to be taking longer drives than people think for teams to score on us. Yeah, I don't think teams are going to necessarily score. I think we're going to limit the big play for sure. I think that's going to be the key. That's the game plan is, hey, you might give up some shit in front of you, but don't let people get behind you. Don't give up the big play. Don't give up the big play. And Glenn just said it. Every defense gives up some yards. Miami will not give up the big completion. Yeah, do not give up the big play. Make them work for it. And then hopefully our front seven gets home and makes them make a mistake. Hopefully the defensive pressure we can produce will force them into a mistake when they got to have 14, 15 play drives to score points. Well, that's promising to hear, Frozen. Again, I hope Detroit plays some of their starters. I'm very curious to see how Miami's defense looks against their starters. But if they're not playing their starters, it's very disappointing. But we're getting closer and closer, folks. We need to work out the kinks. Again, Tua didn't look bad. Obviously, he didn't have Waddle. He didn't have Tyreek. The Washington brothers both of them were impressive. How many wide receivers do we keep on the team? I think you keep Tyreek, you keep Waddle, Nick Westbrook, Keeney, that's 3. Both Washingtons, that's 4, 5, and Estridge. So that's 6 wide receivers. We need a number 1 corner for sure. I don't know if Miami's going to add a number 1 corner. Michael, I don't know if Miami's going to add a number 1 corner. Reek, Waddle, Westbrook, D, and the Washingtons. Yeah, that's what I just said, 6, right? Although I hate to see Theo Wees leave, I would love for us to be able to keep him somehow. Yeah, Taj consistently made the first guy miss, and that's crucial. And Malik has definitely become on a very good slot wide receiver. He looks like he's worked with Tua and they're on the same page. Yeah, I'm hoping he clears waivers. Cam Smith? Glenn, you talking about Cam Smith? I thought we weren't going to talk about Cam Smith no more. That's if he clears waivers, though. We got to hope he clears waivers. Yeah, I'd be surprised if Cam Smith makes his team. Special teams, Bonnie, I think they were much improved, right? I think for once we got rid of that trash ass coordinator we had. I think the offense, the special teams looked really good. And this special teams has cost us games. They cost us that game, last game of the season against Buffalo a couple years ago for the division crown, giving up that kickoff return. I mean, they've made a lot of mistakes on special teams. Hopefully, Pete State got my money, $100. He said Cam Smith was gonna start more games for the Miami Dolphins this year than not. $100. I'm pretty certain I'm gonna win that bet. Although I'd be happy if I lost it. I'd gladly give up my $100 if Cam Smith walked in the door today and played like a number one corner. I'd gladly pay it. But I just don't see it. I think the kid hopefully he can put it together for another team someday, but it's not going to be here in Miami. He needs someone to get a hold of him and get in his head and fix the mental blockage that kid got. Some guys just don't have it upstairs. You can be the most physically gifted specimen there is, but if you don't got it upstairs, it don't matter. That's where Zach Wilson struggles. Zach Wilson has a phenomenal arm. Phenomenal. But he can't process things the way he needs to. My Storm Duck jersey arrived yesterday. My guy going to turn heads this year. I hope you're right, Frozen. I hope you're right. He's QB. He's CB1 so far on this team. I mean, he grabbed him a little bit. Jack definitely grabbed him, but it was a nice pick regardless. He tracked the ball, over shouldered it. It was a good pick. And that's Jack Jones is known for that. And he's known for taking them back to the house too. I think he's got 14 career interceptions. He's returned 7 of them for touchdowns. Jamarcus Russell is another example of a player having talent and no gray matter. Yeah, I mean, some of these players just, it is what it is. It is what it is. But Miami definitely needs to show Detroit that they are not playing games. They need to try to be more physical. Hopefully Tyree gets back soon. Hopefully Waddle's okay. Again, Waddle missed that Bears game because he took a dirty hit. No other way to put it. No other way to explain it. Jalen Waddle took a hit he wasn't supposed to take, and he missed the preseason game over it. What up, Irving? What up? But if I was this Miami Dolphins defense, I'd come out and I put a little more emphasis on hitting people, because from the intel we're getting from the Detroit Lions locker room, they're coming to play physical against us. So let's not wait and let's bring it. You're soft, Michael K. You're soft. They got practice today. Is joint practice start today? Frozen, you know what time the practice is? And I really wish the media would leave Tyreek Hill alone. He is our player until he is not. Like, leave the guy alone. Leave him alone. I don't like that the media continues to try to spin a narrative with Tyreek Hill. I think it's just going to lead to bad things. So practice is going on right now. Frozen says. So we'll discuss that all and more. Elwood says our cornerback room: Duck, Jones, Bonner, Marshall, Hilton, Sheffield. Starts at 10:30, so it just started. Listen, Tyreek's not doing anything right now, and the whole world's still talking about him. Tyreek has brought a lot of stuff upon himself, but right now he's doing nothing of the sort. And they're still talking about, oh, the Dolphins are going to suck. They need to trade him. What team can he go to? Teams are looking to trade for him. Shut up. Shut up. They said Miami was going to wilt in the heat and humidity. Are you kidding me? That's our natural environment. Detroit said that? Like they'd never been to South Beach? That's crazy. All right, folks. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. We'll break down the joint practice that's going on right now. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications because you never know when we might pop up live. And listen, I'm dropping the link in the comments. Stop being scared. Come on and let's hear your takes. I want to hear from you. Me and Mike, I'll let you know tomorrow what day me and Mike are gonna bust out. We got a new show name and all that, changing it from the Blitz. So make sure you keep out. I'll let you guys know when we're gonna first bust that out. But I'll see y'all tomorrow. I love y'all, and fins up. Peace.